My friend, Mr. Biggs, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for being here today, Mr. Postmaster DeJoy. I appreciate the updates you've given us. In 2018, the Synthetics Trafficking and Overdose Prevention Act, or STOP Act, was signed into law. That law was intended to prevent the shipment of fentanyl and synthetic drugs into the U.S. through the mail by requiring advanced electronic data to be included on all inbound international packages shipped through the U.S. Postal Service. Private carriers have been required to carry this electronic tracking information as well since 2022. However, last year, some of our Senate colleagues wrote to your office and to CBP to express concerns about the issuance of an excessive number of waivers issued to countries beyond the scope intended by the law. And a GAO report from May of last year indicates that from FY 2016 to 2021, mail and automobile were the top 2 conveyance types used for drugs that were seized. In fact, the data in the report suggests that CBP components made more than 225,000 drug seizures concealed in mail parcels over this time period. And I'd like to submit that report for the record, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, be entered in the record.
And so I'm wondering if you can provide this committee with an update on the implementation of the STOP Act.
Thank you, sir. And I don't know if you noticed, but I had many interactions with Senator Portman, who was a strong advocate of the STOP Act, and we actually was very much involved in the AED measurements, communicating the AED sampling. That's the electronic advance notice.
Right, so Postmaster DeJoy, we just have a short period of time. I have other questions. So can you be real specific about the implementation?
The implementation, from the Postal Service standpoint, we implement what the State Department and CBP tell us to do. And we have specific operating requirements. Right now, it's about 85% compliance with AED. But we brought on just last year, I think recently, I don't know if it was last year, 27 new countries. And every time we bring on new countries, they're allowed a stepping stone compliance methodology, and that brings the overall average down.
So what's the number of waivers that to countries?
I mean, according to the law, there's a lot. I think almost everybody would be on a waiver right now. So
be still my heart. so what's the total amount of drugs concealed through mail parcels last fiscal year that were interdicted?
Well, I just had my brief, but we track it. Fentanyl is probably up 30% from. I'm trying to overall.
Can you get a specific number?
I have a whole list of marijuana, fentanyl, everything.
Do you know if there's any? Well, I mean, I don't know this. You said basically every country has a waiver. And so the question I was going to ask you is, any inbound mail coming from countries who have a waiver of STOP Act AED requirements, sounds like all of them have some kind of waiver.
Well, if you read the STOP Act, you're supposed to have 100% compliance.
Yeah.
No, but it's not 100% compliance. So we have different statistical sampling methods and so forth.
All right. Can you? So I'm hoping that maybe you can get me some specific data.
I'll give you very detailed information on it.
All right. And then I, along with everyone else, will tell you that I've got a couple of local issue specifics, so maybe someone on your team can get together with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, Postmaster, and yield back.